I have had one of the longest chess days ever. I just played 2 rounds of my chess tournament, Reykjavik Open, a huge chess tournament in Iceland, and I have played chess today for over 8 hours. So my brain feels like an apple pie. It's very mushy. But I'm really excited to show you the 2 games that I played today. They were completely crazy and very interesting. I think I kind of got inspired by Mikael Tal today, and I was trying to play this amazing, beautiful, crazy chess, and I'm going to show you how it went. So let's get right into it. In round number 2, which was this morning at 9 a.m., I mean, shouldn't it be illegal to play chess at 9 a.m.? Like 9 a.m., it's crazy. My brain isn't awake at 9 a.m. Anyways, I was playing in Stephen Arnolds, who was an 1800 rated player from Iceland, rated 1850. And I went d4, he replied knight f6, I went c4, and this became a queen's gambit in which I decided to go for this move g3. And that is because I have done some stats on myself and I've realized that whenever I play g3, I do better. So I've started to play more g3. The idea of this is that I'm putting pressure on this pawn, and if my opponent would take now here, I would just simply go something like knight e5 and threaten the pawn. So yeah, and you cannot really defend it. So anyways, bishop g2, he went c6, and I spent some time thinking here, and then I realized, wait, I can still castle. Because he can still not take here because I just go knight e5, and he cannot go b5 because I take this pawn. So yeah, I just realized that I couldn't do that, so I castled here, and now he went knight b d7. And now that he's gone here, now he's threatening a bit more to take this pawn, so now I had to defend it. So I went b3 to defend it. Also really important for me to go b3 after I have castled, because otherwise there could be weird stuff such as bishop b4. So b6, I went bishop b2, I was developing. Now I went queen c2. I spent quite a lot of time thinking here, which I know is like my most common used sentence. But I spent a lot of time thinking here because I was in between playing queen c2 and playing the move. What was the other move that I wanted to do? Oh yeah, I was in between this and going knight d2. But I didn't like knight d2. The idea of this is that I want to go e4. But the reason I didn't go for this was because I thought that now maybe he can attack my center. And now I didn't really like this because, well, I thought I have to do something like e3 to defend this pawn. But then my idea of e4 doesn't work anyways. And then my knight is a bit clumsy here. And I didn't like that. So yeah, I decided to go for this move, queen c2. But definitely maybe should have realized that sooner. He went rook c8, and now I'm really proud that I found not the best move. Sorry, I went rook a d1 first. But after he went queen c7, now I found the best move, which was to go e4. A very active move. I have realized that it's really important for me to play chess actively, and so yeah, I could have done this a move before as well, but I decided to put my rook on the d file, which is a very active space. So I went e4. And he spent a lot of time thinking here, and I mean, you know, for once I had more time than my opponent. Like I found someone who was slower than me, which I was happy about. So he took here, I took with the queen, and he played knight f6. And here was one of those moments where like, okay, I have a weakness, which is that I'm a perfectionist, and I knew that the 2 best moves were queen c2 and queen e2. And I couldn't decide between these 2 moves, which, okay, I only spent like 6 minutes. I ended up playing queen e2. But I hate when I have 2 good moves and I can't decide between them. And they are the 2 best moves. I just couldn't decide between going queen here and queen here. And I spent a lot of time thinking, what happens if c5, blah, blah. I was thinking so many different lines. I was thinking like crazy. But I ended up going queen e2. He went rook d8. And now I decided to go for the move knight d2. And the idea of this was actually that, because what I wanted to do was that I knew that his plan was to go c5. But I thought, okay, I don't think c5 is such a good move, because if he goes c5, like let's say I do something random and he goes c5, I thought, okay, maybe I have d5 and maybe I can even take here sometimes. And if he takes with the bishop, then this is going to be, you know, a target. Like if takes, and takes, I thought that I was going to be pretty fine. So I was thinking about all this, so I thought, okay, because I wanted to go knight e5, but it just didn't make sense to me to allow c5 without this bishop being able to be out in the open. So I didn't like that. So I also really wanted to go rook f e1, but then I thought, okay, bishop b4, and I was thinking, okay, knight d2, and I was thinking about all of this, but then I thought maybe the knight d2 immediately is just better. And that is what I ended up doing. So he went for the move c5, just like I predicted, and here I took on b7, and maybe this is a bit of a mistake. I could maybe have gone d5, but I didn't realize that after takes, that this was any good for me. Like, I wasn't in a mood of giving up pawns, so this was very messy. So I decided to take the bishop. He took back, and now I took here. And my plan was that after rook takes, and bishop takes, and bishop takes, my plan was that I have this move knight e4. So this is what I was playing for. I was playing for this fork over here. I'm threatening the rook, I'm threatening the bishop. He should here have taken with the pawn, because now, well, he didn't do it because obviously it looks really scary to have the king in the open. But now if I do something like knight e4, then he can actually do something like takes, takes, and rook e5. My knight is pinned right now. And okay, I have to probably go something like queen g4, and this is all a little bit complicated, but it should be around equal. I probably would go something, oh, I can't even go there. Yeah, you have to go something like knight d2 to try to get my knight into a better square. Yeah, but because he has the bishop, honestly, it might be a bit better. Like, I definitely underestimated how fine this was for him. But he took with the bishop, and now after knight e4, he was low on time. He only had 3 minutes left, and I thought it is flagging time. Like, I wanted to play fast because I wanted to try to flag him, which is honestly not a good plan at all. But yeah. But so here he made a mistake. Here what he has to do is that he has to go for rook takes, and probably something like rook e5. But this is very difficult to see. The reason is that I'm threatening the rook, I'm threatening the bishop, and if the rook would go somewhere random, then after takes, rook d8 check, this is going to be a checkmate in a few moves. So he cannot allow that. So, and he cannot go rook d8 because rook c8 because I have knight d6. So yeah, so here the only move he has is to go rook takes d1 and then go rook e5. And I saw this, and my plan was to play something like queen d2 to get my queen out in the open, but I really wasn't sure about how this was. But luckily, he played rook c8, blundering a fork, and now I thought this will be an easy win. I thought, I'm going to finish this game soon. I was even thinking about my lunch. Like, it was a disaster. Like, I was thinking about what I was going to have for lunch. Little did I know that I was going to play for 3 more hours from this point. So yeah, so very, very crazy. So anyways, knight d6, he went queen c6, takes. I traded everything. I went rook d1. I went now queen d3. I was very proud of this move. The idea was that I was now going to come in with the queen, and I was going to force a trade of queens. Because the situation is the following. I am an exchange up. I know for a fact that if I am able to trade these queens, it's going to be super easy for me to win, because I will just go rook d7, pick up these pawns, and promote with my pawns, and this bishop cannot stop it. So I knew that. So the only thing I need to do is to trade queens. So I thought queen d3, game over. You know, the queen cannot move anywhere, because if the queen goes somewhere here, well, it's going to be a checkmate because of the back rank. And I thought after he plays something like h5, I just go queen d7, and it's GG. Well, in this moment, I thought, wait, do I have to go queen d7? Do I have a better move? And yeah, queen d7 just wins on the spot because he has to force the trade of queens, or he's going to lose all these pawns. Like, the reason I didn't play it was because I thought, oh, queen a3, maybe I'll give him some activity. There's absolutely no activity here. I mean, I'm just picking up everything. This king is getting checkmated. It's completely over. So here he would have had to trade queens. Like, maybe he would have gone queen f8, but I would have taken here. And now he probably would have tried to do something like this, but I would just pick up all the pawns, and there is no counterplay for him. Instead, I go queen d6 because I missed that he has queen b7. And the reason for it was, which I realized is a mistake that I do sometimes, is that I'll forget that my opponent has made a move. Like, in my brain, queen b7 didn't work before because I had the back rank. But obviously now he stopped the back rank, so now it works. So it's like I sometimes get tunnel vision with that, I've realized. And it's become like, I really realized this tournament that sometimes I just miss that. And it's something that I need to work on. And now I got really annoyed, because now I was like, Anna, why did you not go queen d7? Like, in any blitz game, I would go queen d7. Why am I playing worse in classical than I would at blitz? Like, I got really tilted, to be fair, at this point. And so I went queen f4. I didn't want to allow the queen to come in. I should probably go h4 here to prevent this. I went queen f4. He went h4. I decided to take the pawn. And okay, I'm still winning. But now I'm not trading queens. This queen comes in. My king is weak. And I've given him a lot more counter chances. Even though the eval says I'm still winning, it's not as clear as before. So I went to a4 because I really wanted to keep my pawn. I went queen g4 here. I didn't want to allow the queen to come in here to h5. He went queen here. I went queen g3. I was trying to trade. I went queen d3. He still was obviously trying to not trade queens. I went h5, queen e5, queen f3. All of this looks fine. I went king h1 now. He went bishop here. And I went rook d7, which is the best move. So this is great. But now after queen c1, I got very confused. So here, it looks like it's completely fine. But in my brain, I had really messed up here. So here, it's a check. If I go king g2, then the queen is going to come back here. And okay, I can probably go king f1, but like I really did, like these are a million checks in my opinion. Like these are so many checks. Like, yeah, the engine is saying that I was winning, but I couldn't really comprehend what was going on. I went queen d1 because my plan was that after he goes queen f4, I thought, okay, now I have rook check, queen check, and after this I'm winning, but I just missed that he has f5. And this was still fine. But here, I missed the only move I have that is instantly winning, which is queen g3. I didn't see this move. And the reason I didn't see this move was because I thought that he has queen e4 check, but I missed that I can go f3, and after a check, I can just go queen g1. So I just, it was just scary to have the queen on the same diagonal as the bishop. So I did not see this. And I had 3 minutes left on the clock. This was my final move before move 40. And I didn't dare to go queen g3. And here I just thought, wow, I've really messed up. But apparently I'm still fine. But I went for the move king g2. My idea was that at least now I'm escaping. So I'm giving up a few of my pawns, but at least now I'm escaping. And now I found this move queen e3, which was a really important move for me to find. But I kept just thinking, Anna, why didn't you just go queen d7 before? Like queen d7 was haunting me. Like I don't want to hear the words queen d7. It's like going to be stuck in my brain forever. Yeah, so he went bishop f6, threatening my rook. And now I found this nice idea of going rook d3 with the idea of pinning the queen and the king. And to be fair, like here I was playing pretty well. Like I felt after the game that this was my worst game ever. But actually all of these ideas were good. He went for, I thought, his best chance, which was to go e5 with the idea that after queen here, bishop h4, I cannot go rook d4 anymore. So I could have done this, but I saw this idea of going queen f3. And my plan was now that if he goes somewhere on this file, I'll be able to trade queens, then I'm winning. He has to protect this pawn, so he can only go to one of these two squares. And after he does that, I saw that I have this move queen h1. Now if he covers with the queen, I can bring in my rook. So the king must go back. I go queen a8 check. The king cannot go here because I check with the rook instead. King must go to f7. Queen d5 check, queen d6, and yeah, I just kind of kept going with the checks here, and I ended up just picking up these pawns, and because I realized that I can just pick up these pawns, and I didn't see how my opponent was going to continue, because if he goes for a check, I just go king here, and if this, I just have queen e3, so I just thought, okay, I'm just winning the pawns. So he didn't do this. Instead he went f4, I went queen here, queen h5, and here should have gone rook h3, but I went check, and here my opponent actually flagged. So the game finished here, but I'm completely winning here because I can just push with this pawn and it's going to promote. So I ended up winning the game. Like if I was speaking negatively and it seemed as if like I was going to lose the game, I didn't. I won the game, but I was just so upset that I didn't play queen d7 and won like 3 hours earlier. But my opponent played a fantastic game. He kept finding these fighting ideas, and yeah, he was just finding great moves, and he definitely made it more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So props to Stefan. GG's to Stefan. Maybe you can type GG Stefan in the comments. So GG Stefan. So after this game, I had played chess for 5.5 hours, and it was only 1.5 hour left till my next game. So I was a bit fried in my brain, but I was like, I got my coffee, I got food, I got everything, and then in round number 3, I was facing an international master. I was playing as American international master Justin Sarkar, who's had a peak rating of 2450, and now he's rated 2300. So the game started with knight f3. Things were kind of slow in the beginning. He went bishop b5, I went bishop d7. All of this was very normal. Definitely not a super aggressive, opening by him. And here I went bishop e7, which I'm not sure if it's that good. I should probably have gone bishop d6 just to get my bishop more active. But yeah, I went bishop e7, he took, and went d4, and I took, he took, I castled, and all of these moves were pretty normal. I went rook c8, which I was happy with, and here he took actually, which I was really shocked when he took, because I thought he was going to go something like knight c2 and then really play against my isolated pawn. This is what we call an isolani in chess, and it's a pawn that it's not protected by any other pawn, which means that it's standing all alone. And what you want to do then is that you want to really, really reinforce the square in front of it. So here I thought knight c2 makes all the sense in the world to have 1, 2, and 3 pieces reinforcing this square. So I was sure he was going to do this, but he took my knight, and I was extremely happy about this because now I was able to take back with the pawn. And now I don't have an isolated pawn anymore. Now my pawn is protecting the pawn. So here I was extremely happy. So he went bishop d3, I went bishop d6, and here he played the move e4. Now here I had more time than him. I had 46 minutes, he had 37, and I had a great position. And I was thinking about all kinds of moves. Honestly, there were 2 moves I was thinking about. I was thinking about knight g4, and I was thinking about the Greek gift, which is bishop takes h2 check. So knight g4, the idea of this was that I was threatening this pawn, and I thought that after h3, I was looking at all kinds of moves, such as bishop h2 check, king h1, queen h4, but I didn't really exactly know what was going on. I thought that this was just a bit crazy. Here h5 apparently works, but all of this was really crazy. So yeah, I was also looking at knight h2, to be honest, with the idea that after I thought rook here, I thought I can go queen g5, which I thought looked really good. Apparently here his best move is e5 for some apparent reason. Oh, the idea is that after I take, yeah, the idea is that if I take the rook and he takes my bishop, my knight is trapped, so I'll lose that piece. So after I take, he goes rook e1, and now he's threatening my bishop, so when my bishop moves, he has time to go queen h5. So okay, I did not see that. But I was looking at all of these kinds of moves. Apparently, I can go queen h4 here as well. Yeah, and this is good for me. So, yeah, this was a great move that I had. But I got tempted. This was like a forbidden fruit. This was like the juiciest apple that you can see, looking at you, shining, and you know that there might be a worm or something inside, but you say, I'm going to take the risk and say that there's not. I calculated for 30 minutes here, and I was sure that I was winning. And well, I was wrong, but I was wrong only because of one move. Let me tell you one thing. If this was the position, things would be different. But anyways, doesn't matter. So, also, if my rook was on e8, things would be different. Very different. So anyways, doesn't matter. So bishop takes h2. I went for this move. The idea was that after knight g4 check, he cannot go back here because he's going to get checkmated after queen h4. So he has to go king g3. I went to h5. The idea is that I'm threatening to basically, yeah, like if he does something random, I go h4 check. And after king here, I go for the move, yeah, I mean, I can go for any check like this, but I also have the move f5, which now is just very strong because I'm going to be able to take like this, and if he would take something like this, I can go rook e8 and prevent the king from escaping, and I have all kinds of checkmate ideas. So after I went h5, he went for the move rook h1, and here I went for the move g5. I couldn't decide between g5 and queen c7, but I guess the thing that I missed was f5. And this is a very complicated move. The only way that he, survives from this is by going f4. And here I can go f takes e4. And now he has to sacrifice a piece. And now my best chance is to go rook takes f4. And the only move he has right now is queen d2. Everything. Like, do you see how crazy this is? Because if takes here, I have queen c7 check. King here. D takes e4 check. And rook f8, and I'm going to be winning. Like, what I want to say is just that this position was incredibly complicated, and I think that my brain couldn't really take all of this, especially with the long game I had before. So yeah, f5, I should have definitely gone f5. I think the reason I didn't go f5, I don't know if I was worried about rook takes h5, actually. don't know if I was worried about that, but then I have f takes e4, so I'm not really sure. Yeah. Anyways, I went for g5. I was really stuck on this idea of going queen c7 check and playing against this. And after g5, here's the thing. Let's say that the rook would go to c1 or something. My idea is that I'm threatening to checkmate. I'm threatening to checkmate. So the only move after g5 that my opponent has, which I had seen all of this when I sacrificed the piece, the only move he has is queen d2, and he found it. Obviously, he's an IM, but I didn't see it. And that was my bad, you know, I didn't see it. So I went h4 check, king f3. And here, I went queen f6 check. I think actually my best chance would have been to go d4, because after something like knight d1, yeah, I don't know, queen check, king e2, yeah. The king escapes is the problem. Yeah, I went here queen f6 check, and now I made a mistake. I should have gone queen takes f2, but I just couldn't really figure this out. Check, I just thought I couldn't really figure this out, to be honest. I was looking at all of these kinds of moves, but I just thought that after this, I just thought that he can go bishop f1 and all my pawns are falling apart, and I just thought that I have nothing. So I thought that I was forced to trade queens with queen takes f2, so I didn't go for it. I went knight takes f2, and I honestly just missed that he had the move knight takes d5. And now the idea is that after bishop check, king f1, it looks completely crazy, but yeah, I'm just losing because my queen is under attack. I don't have any good discovery check, and yeah, I just don't have anything. So, and if I go something like queen d8, he has knight f6, and you know, I'm gonna get checkmated. Like, yeah, here he can even go rook takes, you know, all of these things are checkmate. So anyways, I took here, I let him checkmate, queen takes g5, here, and this became a checkmate. So yeah, this game, the mistake was just entering this crazy piece sacrifice. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I was sure that it worked, but I missed this move, queen d2. And yeah, I was trying to be like Mikhail Tal, but I wasn't, and it sucked. But yeah, he found this great move, and yeah, I learned the lesson. It doesn't always work to go for the Greek gift. So I hope that you learned that lesson as well. So anyways, I am right now on 1 out of 3 points. Tomorrow, I'm probably playing against someone that is lower rated than me, and hopefully goes well. I'm playing tomorrow at 3 p.m. Iceland time, so please check out the stream. It's going to be both on YouTube and on Twitch. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for watching the recaps, and wish me luck for tomorrow. Bye-bye!